بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السيدات والسادة الحضور، ضيفانا الكريمان، نرحب بكم جميعا في ندوة جديدة من الندوات العلمية التي تنظمها أكاديمية نسيج بشكل دوري بهدف تشارك المعارف والأفكار والوقوف على آخر المستجدات في مجالات المكتبات والمعلومات والتعليم وإدارة المعرفة. وعلى غير ما اعتيد عليه في ندوات سابقة، في ندوة الليلة لن نعرض لواحدة من تقنيات المعلومات أو نظم المكتبات أو التوجهات الحديثة في تقديم خدمات رقمية متطورة، بل سنتناول جماع هذا كله من خلال الإطلال عبر نافذة أكاديمية نسيج على ثمرة التعاون بين نسيج وإبسكو، ممثلة في التعاون بين منصة ميداد ومنصة فوليو، وكيف يمكن للمكتبات وغيرها من المؤسسات الإفادة من هذا التعاون الرقمي بكفاية وفعالية. معنا للحديث حول موضوع الندوة والتي بعنوان منصة ميداد بدعم نظام فوليو، المدخل للتحول الرقمي في مكتبتك، السيد نيل بلوك، نائب الرئيس للقراءات العالمية مفتوحة المصدر بإبسكو. ويعمل نيل بلوك في المكتبات وشركاء المجتمع على توفير الدعم اللازم لمنصة فوليو لخدمات المكتبات مفتوحة المصدر. وقد حصل نيل على درجة ماجستير في علوم المكتبات والمعلومات من جامعة ويسكونسن-ميلواكي، كما عمل في العديد من المكتبات الأكاديمية والمتخصصة. وقبل انضمامه إلى إبسكو في عام 2014 كان لدى نيل خبرة عملية تمتد لأكثر من 20 عاما في سوق تحسيب وأتمتة المكتبات من خلال الواجهات الابتكارية، حيث شغل خلالها منصب الرئيس في بعض المؤسسات إلى جانب العديد من الأدوار القيادية والتنفيذية الأخرى. معنا أيضا المهندس وجدي طحموش، قائد فريق تجربة العملاء في قطاع المكتبات بنسيج. وقد حصل المهندس وجدي على بكالوريوس علوم الحاسب من الجامعة الأمريكية في بيروت ودرجة الماجستير في هندسة الحاسوب من جامعة الكويت. يعمل وجدي في نسيج منذ 1999 كمدير لحلول التقنية، وهو مسؤول عن تطوير وتعريب أنظمة المعلومات للسوق العربية والتحديد، حيث يقوم تحديد المتطلبات الفنية للعديد من مشاريع المكتبات والمعلومات، من بينها الفهرس العربي الموحد ومكنز الأوقاف في الكويت ومكنز التعليم. وقد قام بتصميم معالج البحث المفتاحي المستخدم في أنظمة نسيج، وتم تبنيه في العديد من الأنظمة العالمية. بالإضافة إلى عمله في نسيج، عمل وجدي محاضرا زائرا وقام بتنظيم العديد من الدورات التدريبية حول المكتبات الرقمية وأنظمة إدارة المكتبات المتكاملة لبرنامج الماجستير في علوم المكتبات بالجامعة اللبنانية وجامعة الروح القدس في لبنان، حيث قام بتدريس برنامج التدريب على المكتبات الرقمية وحلول إدارة المكتبات المتكاملة. ومنذ عام 2020 يقود المهندس وجدي فريق تجربة العملاء في نسيج، حيث يتفاعل مع العملاء لتحديد احتياجات ومتطلباتهم وتوجيه أعمال التطوير لمنصة الخدمات المكتبية من ميداد لتتوافق مع احتياجات العملاء. Ladies and gentlemen, our honorable speakers, we welcome you all to a new webinar that organized periodically by Naseej Academy with the aim of sharing knowledge, ideas, and all about the new trends in the field of libraries, information, education, learning, and knowledge management. Unlike what we used to present previously, tonight we will not talk about one of the latest technologies or library system or new trends in providing advanced library services. Tonight, we will address all of these by looking through Naseej Academy's window on a fruitful cooperation between Naseej and EBSCO. In specific, the cooperation between the MEDAD platform and FOLIO platform, and how libraries and other institutions can benefit from these digital collaboration effectively and efficiently. Tonight, under the title of MEDAD powered by FOLIO, the gateway to digital transformation in your library, we are pleased to have Neil Block, Vice President, Global Open Source Innovation, EBSCO Information Services. Neil Block works with libraries and community partners to build support for the FOLIO open source library platform. Neil has an MLIS from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and has worked in academic and special libraries. Prior of joining EBSCO in 2014, Neil had more than 20 years experience in the library automation marketplace with innovative interfaces, serving as president and other senior executive roles. Also, we have engineering Wajdi Tahmoush, customer experience leader, library sectors at Naseej. Wajdi Tahmoush holds a bachelor degree in computer science from Lebanese American University and master degree in computer engineering from Kuwait University. He has worked with Naseej since 1999 as Technology Solution Manager, responsible for localizing and Arabizing Naseej information system for the Arab market. In this capacity, he has defined technical requirements for many information and library projects, such as Arab Union Catalog, Awqaf Thesaurus, and Education Thesaurus. In addition to his work with Naseej, Engineering Tahmoush has worked as a visiting instructor at Lebanese University and Holy Spirit University, where he teaches the digital libraries and integrated library system courses. He also designed the smart Arabic keyword processor used in the Naseej system and implemented in many international systems. Since 2020, Engineering Tahmoush has the lead in the CX team at Naseej, engaging with the clients to identify their needs and requirements and guiding the development of the MEDAD library service platform. Before I leave the virtual floor for Neil, I would like to confirm that we will be happy to receive your question and any other inquiries at the end of the two presentations in the question and answer window. Please, Neil, the virtual floor is yours. Please start.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for attending this session today. We hope that this will be very instructive and informative. I would like to begin my part of the presentation to describe what is FOLIO. And FOLIO stands for The Future of Libraries is Open. And it is a fully supported open source library platform, and it's built new from the ground up. When we look at the library systems marketplace, most or all of the offerings of the systems being used were developed 10 years ago, 15 years ago, sometimes even 20 years ago. There's been tremendous change in computer technology as libraries and library systems move to the cloud, and as physical and electronic resource management workflows begin to come together, especially for academic libraries. So the key stakeholders of the FOLIO community thought that it was time to build a new system to take advantage of new technologies and also to leverage new workflows. FOLIO is a community of academic librarians, development organizations, and service partners, including Naseej. EBSCO is a key stakeholder in the FOLIO community and will describe how we participate. Currently, we have about 150 librarians who participate as subject matter experts in governance and in special interest groups. The special interest groups help to define the software requirements for what the system and the software will do to support libraries. When we were deciding to build a new platform, we wanted to build a platform that would accommodate innovation. FOLIO does this in many ways. I will just point out several. One is we use a modern microservices architecture. Most cloud-based systems are the same for all libraries. FOLIO allows customization through the use of apps, just like on your smartphone or on your tablet. This allows libraries to customize workflows based on their institutional needs. Second, we use a modern metadata layer that is based on BibFrame. Of course, we manage and accept MARC metadata, but we want to be open to changes that will happen in the metadata environment. So we use internally a type of metadata layer that's based on BibFrame. Third, we have very deep integration of electronic resource management, which is so important for academic libraries, as well as physical resource management workflows. So FOLIO is a community that is built around innovation, and it is supported open source. The FOLIO software is free, and it's available on GitHub for libraries to use. However, the library management system is very complex, and so EBSCO and Naseej can both provide services that will help to support your implementation of the open source FOLIO software. EBSCO has development teams to support FOLIO libraries, build new features, and we contribute that code back to the community. When each new software release happens, which is 3 times per year, EBSCO hardens the community software. So we take the free open source software and we make sure that it conforms to information and data security standards. FOLIO supports integration with third-party solutions, self-check, cataloging, reading lists, book ordering, and authentication, and integration with EBSCO solutions, including discovery, book ordering, analytics, and a complete knowledge base to support your electronic resource needs. Who is participating in the FOLIO community? And so you can see there are libraries. This first slide is a partial list of some libraries who are participating in the FOLIO community. Cornell University, University of Massachusetts, University of Chicago, Duke University. So very well-known and important academic institutions are contributing their thoughts and ideas to the FOLIO project. But FOLIO is also well represented by libraries around the world. Trinity College, Cambridge has just recently gone live on FOLIO software. The Shanghai Library, one of the largest public and research libraries in China, is adopting FOLIO. We have libraries that are moving from other library management systems, such as the Universidad de Concepción in Chile, who's our first library who is moving from ALMA, another new cloud-based system, to FOLIO. We have several libraries in Africa so far: Durban University of Technology and Namibia University of Science and Technology, and an important institute in India called the Geo Institute. So we have a wide representation of libraries from around the world. Together, EBSCO and our partners have either implemented or are in the process of implementing 42 libraries as of today. So Caltech University, Cornell University, Trinity College. You can see the wide variety of institutions from around the world who have committed to using FOLIO as their next library management solution. Among these are large research libraries, libraries from outside the US, so it does represent a global community, We also have a growing number of libraries that begin using FOLIO first to manage their electronic resource management requirements. And we work with partners around the world like Naseej to help implement FOLIO together. So in that way, you can get the benefits both of local support through a vendor that you trust in your community, as well as deep knowledge of the FOLIO platform. With a worldwide community, we have a structure in place that allows us to make decisions as how to move the software and the community forward. If you participate with a commercial library management system now, you might be familiar with how user groups work. This is much more important and integrated into the process than a user group, because here the librarians and the community members decide the future of the project. We have a product council. The product council helps to determine the roadmap and the software strategy, which software should be developed first and what is most important. The technical council does the same thing except for the hardware and standards and helps define best practices. Third, we have a community council, and the community council is designed to create and sustain a healthy worldwide community of libraries, librarians, and service providers. We want FOLIO to be adopted widely throughout the world, and so we are investing in this community council. Librarians participate in special interest groups according to their area of expertise in software. I'm a librarian, and I started off in libraries as a cataloger. So I'm very interested in resource management and metadata management. There are about 14 different special interest groups that are each focused on a particular subject area. Each SIG, or special interest group, has a product owner, and the product owner will help translate the software requirements that the special interest group comes up with into the language that software engineers can understand to write the actual software code. So EBSCO and the community provide the human and the financial resources to keep the development of FOLIO going. Everything about FOLIO is open and transparent. In order to sign up, you can go to folio.org, where you will get a login and password. The next area, which is called the Wiki is where librarians go to discuss the software, the meetings, the agendas, the minutes of the special interest group. So they're very, very interesting to keep up with what is going on in the Wiki. FOLIO is organized under the Open Library Foundation, which is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to open source software in libraries. The Open Library Foundation has a YouTube channel, and you can find many interesting videos on the YouTube channel about FOLIO. If you are more technically inclined, you can look at the issues page or the development page or even GitHub. And we do have an upcoming conference, and we hope, considering COVID situation, that we're hoping this will be in person in Hamburg, Germany in 2022. So just a couple of areas about innovation. FOLIO uses apps rather than modules. And so the apps can be put together in unique ways so the workflow reflects what you want to accomplish rather than what the software makes you do. So these apps can easily be updated or replaced to keep your FOLIO system new. All of the software in FOLIO is built on an API-first approach. So that means we use open API architecture to integrate apps to apps, but also FOLIO to other existing systems, whether these are campus accounting systems, student information systems, authentication, self-check, sorting systems. So you have more choice for services now and in the future. As an example, here is a FOLIO user who is logged in and has access to all of the different apps within FOLIO. So they have apps that are associated with electronic resource management like agreements, e-holdings, licenses. They have acquisitions apps like orders, invoices, organizations, finance, and circulation apps like check-in and check-out. But if you want, based on the login of the user, and now we'll go to a second user, that user only has a very few apps. So that might be a person at the circulation desk that might only have access to check-in and check-out and requests and users. So based on the individual user logging in, you can control what applications they see or have access to. We also talked about metadata and why it's so important that FOLIO and what we call the inventory accepts both MARC and non-MARC metadata. When we accept MARC metadata from a library system, we create an instance record, holdings, and items. So the FOLIO apps talk to these records. We, of course, keep the MARC metadata in what's called source record storage. And the goal is that this is built to support future applications, including linked data. If you start on this slide in the right-hand side, you can see the MARC record source. So let's say we're starting from your existing library management system. We put that into a process called data import. Data import transforms the record into the instance, into the holdings, and the item records, which would show the availability of a physical item, for instance. At the same time, on the right-hand side, we copy that MARC record into the source record, and that is always kept synchronized with the inventory record. So in this way, you can use the MARC editor of your choice, the FOLIO editor or other MARC editors that are available. So maximum flexibility and designed for the future. FOLIO software is currently in what is called the Juniper release. We release the software, a new release, 3 times per year, and we add up to 70 new features. Midway through one of the software releases, we do a catch-up release to make sure everything is working correctly. So our next release will be coming out in December of this year. It's called the Kiwi release. EBSCO contributes substantially to the success of FOLIO. We fully fund 12 development teams. That includes about 65 developers, 9 product owners, and 6 Scrum Masters, which is a term for helping to facilitate the software development process. The community contributes as well, and currently there are about 4 community development teams. So we have a very robust software development environment for FOLIO. In short, some of the benefits for FOLIO are the community approach to governance. Open source offers choice for service and support and how development gets performed. Strong electronic resource management, the ability to customize workflows, and integration with EBSCO and other campus services. So I hope that gives you a good overview of FOLIO, and I'm now going to stop sharing. We'll turn it over for the next part of the session to begin now. So thank you very much for attending today.
Thank you, Neil. And I'm so impressed about sticking to the time. We do appreciate this when you capsulize the knowledge, and this is something should be followed by all our guests in Naseej Academy, and I'm sure Wajdi will do the same. I just need to confirm before I give the virtual floor to Wajdi to confirm about that all the question again should be just received in written format in the question and answer, and also about the certificate. All the attendees will receive certificate, and also the presentation will be uploaded to Naseej Academy and EBSCO website. So please, Wajdi, the floor is yours, and you can start. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Abdullah, and thank you, Neil. In my presentation now, I'm going to mainly talk about how Naseej has built the platform, MEDAD platform, the library service platform that is powered by FOLIO to deliver the best services to the Arabic libraries. Let me just, yes. Okay, I will start by also defining, in fact, what is MEDAD. MEDAD LSP, in fact, is MEDAD Library Services Platform. This is a cloud services platform that we in Naseej a comprehensive set of services for your library. This means we have defined, or we have developed all the services required by the end users, by the library staff, and by the administration of your library to deliver all these services on a single platform. This platform, in fact, is built on open source, completely on open source, and mainly it is powered by FOLIO to deliver mainly the management services for your library, for your physical and electronic collections through an innovative approach. It also delivers all the end user services through a fully integrated library portal. So it's not only the management part, but also the services part for the end users. We also offer a unified discovery service, and this unified discovery service it enables searching your physical content, your electronic resources, and your digital repository in one single user experience and one single interface. The discovery service that is delivered in the library portal, in fact, is powered by the EBSCO EDS to search electronic resources. And even if some libraries don't have the EDS but have EBSCO databases, we also do in full integration with EBSCO host through the EIT. And with the digital repository, we use the Fedora digital repository, and we completely integrate all the electronic with the digital, and with also the library catalog that is managed by FOLIO and the MEDAD ILS. So we have one single user experience to search everything and to get all the services from your library, whether they are related to physical collection or to electronic resources or to the digital content or the digital repository. The portal we offer, in fact, as the end user interface is not just an OPAC. It's not it's not a professional OPAC. It's much more than that. It is a complete portal for your library that is built on a CMS system. So you can develop a complete portal for the library, including managing the web content, adding the pages of your library. And we also add to that what we call the VLA, or the virtual library assistant, that also integrates a chatbot to answer user queries. So the portal represents a full service portal for the library, where you can search your library holdings, physical, electronic, digital, answer the user queries through the chatbot, also develop web content for your library. So it is a complete solution for your library to serve your patrons. MEDAD ILS, in fact, is the management system that is the core system for MEDAD LSP, and it is fully powered by FOLIO. It is built on FOLIO. And as Naseej, in fact, we have benefited from the advanced features and the modern technology offered by FOLIO, and we have added also to that some requirements that are related to Arabic libraries and integrations that are used in our area and in our region for Arabic libraries. Here, this picture or this slide shows you how MEDAD LSP, the library services platform, how it is structured. So on the top layer, you can see these are the front end or the user interface offered by MEDAD LSP. So here you can see we have the portal, and the portal, it integrates the OPAC, searching the physical catalog, searching the electronic resources, searching the digital repository. So all of them through one single experience and one single interface. And we also have the library assistant. So we have also the chatbot, the Q&As, even the guides, and so on. And based on that, we can offer also building union catalogs, because adopting this technology and this microservices and containers technology enables us also to create a single interface to search multiple catalogs and multiple OPACs, creating a union catalog. We also added also some additional services like the interlibrary loan or collaborating resource sharing. In the middle layer, this is in fact a purely technical. So here we do the indexing the metadata, plus indexing the full text from the repository. We maintain the security. We deliver the mobility of the services, the scalability, the APIs, and the integration capabilities. And in addition, we have also the implementation of the artificial intelligence and the business intelligence that are new to the libraries and that are being introduced through many services in the library. In the bottom layer here we can see, in fact, mainly the FOLIO, where we manage the physical collection through MEDAD ILS. And these are the classical services used by the library staff, like cataloging, acquisition, inventory, circulation, other user services, and so on. We also maintain the management for the electronic resources, and here we have full integration with the EBSCO knowledge base to maintain and manage electronic resources like databases, subscriptions, the e-holdings, the e-usage, the agreements, and the licenses, all of this related to the electronic resources. On the digital assets repository, here you can maintain your digital content, your digital assets, you can build your collections, digital collections, and create your digital items, and generate access privileges, different access privileges, and groups, user groups, and user privileges on different collections, and maintain all your digital content and manage it. In the reference services, you can have here the what we call the VLA, or the virtual assistant, including the chatbot, the Q&As. You can generate guides, and you can maintain access privileges also. Now I'm going to say why we need to change. In fact, the need for change with the library systems is a must. If we look now at, as Neil mentioned, that most of other systems are developed 10 or even 20 years ago. And most of these systems, they have no room for innovation or services automation. So we are stuck with old technologies with these systems. Maintaining multiple systems. So now if you have digital repository and you have the library management system and you have the portal or the search and the discovery, and even if you have like library assistant or guides and so on, so you have many systems available, and this has a very high cost for integration between all these systems. Also, there is high cost for maintenance, for support, and for upgrade. In addition, most of these systems being based or developed on very old technologies, these classical systems, so there is inability even to respond to pandemics. For example, most of the libraries who are using these systems suffered during the COVID-19 because the staff could not completely do their work from home, or at least some of the functions they could not do it remotely. So having different systems and the scattered information will have also different user experience. So the users are even not satisfied with the services from the library. They have to connect to many systems to do the search on different interfaces, different experience, so they cannot get into all information in one single place or one single hub. Limited or inability to interoperate in semantic web, linked data projects, or social networks. We know that most of these systems are what we call are legacy systems, and they are not based at all, they are not using microservices and containers, which are considered as a must now to be able to interoperate in semantic web and to link to or to also to be part of the linked data projects or social networks. Higher staff time is spent on management tasks than user services. We see that with these classical systems, the staff in the library are most of their time they waste on managing the tasks and not to provide good services to the user. Why? Because there is a lot of replica work. So if you have digital repository and physical holdings, you have to do the work twice if it is the same item. In addition, there is no way to respond to trend developments and the changes, because these are like black boxes and the closed systems built on very old technologies, as I said. And also at the same time, you cannot maintain or create or add new services to the system based on the requirements of the users or the libraries. MEDAD, in fact, as a platform of services, MEDAD LSP, which is powered by FOLIO, is completely built on microservices and containers. So we also adopt the continuous delivery. So it is in fact, it represents a gateway for the digital transformation in your library. Digital transformation can never be achieved with the old legacy systems or the old classical systems, because, as I said, there is technical obstacles before that stands in the way, and also these systems are built on very old technology that does not allow them to fully interoperate with other systems or with to be part of the semantic web. The advantages of using MEDAD. Of course, we have MEDAD ILS fully supported by Naseej. Also, there is support. Okay, there is also support by EBSCO and by the FOLIO community. So we have very high support for the MEDAD ILS. The system has a lot of advantages in providing the proper support and the proper development. So we have continuous development, continuous delivery, and new features are always based on the library's needs. This is on the international level that is maintained by EBSCO and by the FOLIO community, and also on the national level and the Arabic countries level that is maintained by Naseej. So we are always trying to respond on whatever we develop to the requirements of the libraries. So we find out the needs for the libraries and we develop services to respond to these needs. It is, of course, built on the latest technologies. As I said, we are completely supporting a full set of APIs and microservices. The cloud-based services frees your library from any maintenance or support or technical staff needs, so you don't need to worry about any support or technical services. So you can just focus on the user services. We have fast implementation, migration, and deployment, so we can quickly transfer your library from the old classical system to the new services platform. We have full support for Arabic libraries needs. So we do a lot of work on for the needs for the Arabic libraries. For example, we have high integration with the Arab Union catalog for bibliographic data and library holdings. So you can directly copy your bibliographic data and update your holdings in the AUC directly from MEDAD LSP. Direct utilization of AUC and LC authority. This is also, we added this service so you can benefit directly from verifying your headings in the library from AUC headings or LC authority files, and this is part of the linked data project offered by LC and by AUC. High capabilities for participation in data projects and linked data projects, so there is now no obstacles for you to be part of these projects, and as I said, we already, your library will be part of the LC authority linked data project. Advanced Arabic English Mark Editor, we have worked on the Mark Editor and provided not only the default Mark Editor that comes with FOLIO, but we have created a very powerful Mark Editor in Arabic and English with full support for LTR and RTL, right to left, and this is one of the problems usually librarians face when using Mark cataloging. There is also, as Nell mentioned, also you can catalog using Mark, or you maintain your metadata using Mark, or also non-Mark with the ability to support a new standard, for example, like the BibFrame. After all, you have one single unified user experience and one single customer journey for all staff functions. In this image here, this is the library portal. You can see here we have a complete portal. As I said, it is built on a CMS, so the library can add its pages. It's not an OPAC, it's not just, so the library can create a full portal for the library. So you can see here, for example, you can create like subject categories, the kids library, you can generate your e-services, you can see the different services that you can offer, and you can build your web content the way you want using the CMS. Here, as an example of the integration with the electronic resources and the discovery, so the search here, you can see the results coming from electronic resources or from the library. And as I said here, we have full integration with EBSCO EDS and even with EBSCO host databases, and of course, the digital repository and the library catalog. For the ILS, this is FOLIO, the same screen you have seen with Nil. Here we have developed also, and we implemented the trilingual, and even if you want to add a fourth language or additional languages, it is also possible. So we have a trilingual interface, Arabic, English, French, and with everything in the system, all the labels has been redefined and translated using the method or the ways used in the Arabic libraries. Here you can see the integration with AUC. So you can see that we are searching here AUC, we are searching Library of Congress, and we are searching the local. We can also search the knowledge base for electronic resources or any other Z3950 target through a single interface, through a single search, and you can see the results here coming from different places. For example, the first two records from AUC, the second two are from the Library of Congress, the other records are from the local catalog. So you can search with a single search different sources for your bibliographic data. This is the Mark, the advanced Mark editor, and you can see here, this is the Mark editor where you can flip the table, you can do it right to left without losing any information. Change the table to the Mark editor to be displayed right to left or left to right. There is also all the Mark standard is implemented in the system, so there is no need to know Mark. You can just add fields or edit fields using the Mark editor, using the Mark standard. We can also validate the Mark, so when you create a record, you can validate your record that it doesn't violate the MARC standard. You can suppress from discovery, of course, and staff suppress, and you can do previous help, and with many other services I cannot all specify here. Here you can see how the MARC standard is completely integrated with the system, so you can select when adding a tag, you can select any what tag you want to add. Also the same, here you can see the verification of the heading that I'm verifying against, for example, the LC. These are the LC names, for example, the associations, and you can see the field at 110, which are the organizations, so you can verify directly against the LC authority data, like the LC names or the LC subject. In the ERM, there is, as I said, there is full support for the ERMs from agreements, licensing, licenses, e-holdings, and e-usage. There is full integration with EBSCO knowledge base and EBSCO Connect. So to access the knowledge base of electronic resources, you can search by vendors, packages, or titles. You can add collections by selecting the full collection or the full database or specific titles to your holdings. And when it comes to the usage, you can, of course, import the counter reports or harvest them using the sushi to generate unified reporting through your ILS. And after all, so you have one single user experience and one customer journey for managing all your library physical holdings and electronic holdings. Here we have added a feature that is called work list that enables your library to generate set of records based on certain criteria, for example, searching the records or collecting, for example, when you are doing inventory, you can collect the barcodes or the RFIDs of your records and put them in a file, and the file goes to the system and it generates what we call a work list. What you can do with the work list, you can do a lot of things with the work list. For example, you can generate export for reporting, and you can export in Excel, CSV, JSON, or many other formats. You can do global updates on the work list. For example, you can move a set of items from one library to another library. You can update the emails of the users, etc. So global updates on the records. You can also schedule the work list to run automatically at specific dates, and you can email if you are doing reporting, for example. You can email the output to specific users. So in other words, you can automate many services that you used to do with all the classical system. Even sometimes you are not able to do even, but if you are able to do, you have to do it manually. Now you can automate a lot of services, so your staff will be free to look for user services, not doing management and reporting or other features. Another reporting tool we have added, it is called the analytics, that enables you to generate many reports in tabular format, as you can see here, and also to generate the report in graphical format. At the same time, you can also schedule these reports and email them automatically on specific dates, like weekly or yearly or whatever, or at specific dates. And you can export in different formats the report, so you can generate the report and then convert it into a PowerPoint presentation if you would like to present it to your library director or to your management in the university or in the library. So in a general or in a brief, I can say here, the system, the LSP MEDAD library services platform, it delivers full set of services for your users and for your staff. For your staff here, so we deliver all the staff functions through a unified, simple, and innovative user experience. We do support the MARC and the non-MARC cataloging, okay? And there is real-time indexing from MEDAD ILS to, or FOLIO to the library portal. So whenever you create a record or update a record, you don't need to do like migration or moving the records onto the discovery system or whatever. Automatically, whenever a record is added or updated, it gets indexed directly at the same moment to the library portal. So the library portal is always up to date with its content. This applies to the physical content that is in the MEDAD ILS or FOLIO, and also to the digital repository that is in Fedora. For the electronic resources, of course, the search is always real-time using the APIs of EBSCO EDS and EBSCO host or AIT. Of course, the other classical services are all part of the LSP, like the circulation, the acquisition, the courses, data import, data export, plus many, many other functions. There is very less need for training because, as I said, it is one single user experience. So if the user get trained on one module, he can use all the other modules because they are very similar in the way how it is presented to the end user and the UI. Higher productivity and automation of tasks. So of course, when you can do a lot of automation for many tasks and the simple system that enables you to produce more. So your staff productivity will be much higher and your staff will be freed to support users more than to do management tasks on the library system. Ability to develop new apps and services as needed. Of course, this is, as we said, and as Neil also mentioned, that FOLIO is a platform of apps, so we can always add new apps to the system to support or to respond to the library needs based on your requirements. So we can add any app or any service based on the library requirements. In fact, we have many implementations already. We have done some implementations for AI, and we have many plans for AI and DPI. For example, as you have seen, the analytics module in this case, or also, as I said, we have also the chatbot. So there are actual implementation, and we have a lot of plans for implementation of AI and DI to be added as services to the MEDAD LSP. Of course, we have full integration layer through the API and the microservices. We do support the SSO both on the portal level and the staff interface. So you can connect with the SSO and to authenticate your users. And we can also, of course, integrate with many other internal systems, like if there is an SIS in the library or other systems, even the financial system or payment gateway to pay the fines and fees and so on. So there is no I can say nothing that cannot be integrated. So the system is completely open and, as I said, built on microservices, so we can do any integration requirement, whether with internal system or with external system. That's all from my side. Thank you for listening, and I hope we were able to give you a quick review of what MEDAD library services platform that is powered by FOLIO, what it can deliver for your library. Thank you.
Thank you, Wajdi, so much, and thank you again to stick somehow to the time frame. And now it's time for receiving the question and answer. And at the beginning, I would like to confirm that this webinar, from the beginning, it's in English, and this is on purpose just to show the value in its mother tongue of the two platforms. This is the first thing. The second thing, that any question in Arabic, I'll be happy just translate to our guests, and I will try to collect some of the questions. We have many of them, but I'll start with the what we can call it a primitive one. It's about the distinguished added value of this partnership between MEDAD platform and FOLIO platform, how this add value will give to the library in the Arab region. I know that you mentioned it, both of you, in your presentation, but I think that it's good just to focus on the most important and most valuable part. And we'll start with you, Neil. Yes, you can hear me now?
Is there something that you, is there a question?
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah, I try to collect the question, and the first one, it's about that the added value and the most distinguished value will come from the partnership between MEDAD platform and FOLIO platform for specifically the library in the Arab region.
Yes, so we think that this partnership, and EBSCO believes very strongly in working with partners around the world, so we can build a global community of libraries helping FOLIO to grow. So we have worked with Naseej on this because they are certainly a leading service organization in the region, and we want to make sure that FOLIO gets widely adopted and that the libraries who adopt FOLIO then have an avenue or a vendor that they can call for local service, and support, whether it's in your local language, local time zone, and can also be part of the process for implementation and ongoing support and enhancements.
Perfect. Thank you. Wajdi, do you need to give some elaboration on this part?
Yes, in fact, the cooperation or the between Naseej and EBSCO is a long, it has been there for a long time, starting from the electronic databases, maybe for more than it is more than 20 years or maybe 25 years. And we have worked together on delivering the best possible services for for the libraries in our region, in the Arabic world. And now with the FOLIO and MEDAD, there is also a lot of cooperation between Naseej and EBSCO so that we can deliver the services or the apps on the FOLIO platform also, that is the MEDAD ILS and the MEDAD LSP, in response to the needs for the Arabic libraries. We all know that in the Arabic world and mainly in our region, there are sometimes there are many features or many functions that are required and not part sometimes are not priority for the international market. For example, when we come to talk about the Arabic searching as an example, very simple example, the Arabic searching and the support, how it is done, how to support the Arabic language, it's not enough to do a Unicode search or to do the search as Unicode or to support the data in Arabic. So we need to do handling for the Arabic language, like the, for example, the stemming and the normalization and adding the exception words and so on. So Naseej, in fact, with its long history in supporting the Arabic market in the library domain, we have a very an excellent experience. We know the requirements, we know the needs of our market. So this enables us to deliver additional features and additional functions on the international system offered as FOLIO, and to add a lot of services that are specific to our clients in the region in response to their needs. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Appreciate it, you gentlemen. There is, I think, question related to that as well. It's about the critical challenges and needs you see FOLIO and also this partnership with MEDAD came across and help libraries to overcome. I think you are muted. You are muted. It's fine.
This is my first time that I got caught being on mute.
No problem. Please.
One of the critical needs that FOLIO and MEDAD are designed to help with is the importance of electronic resources in the library. Most of the older legacy systems were built to support only the physical inventory of the library, and then later did they grow to accommodate electronic resources. FOLIO starts by treating both electronic and physical resources together and using shared workflows wherever possible, and also tying or linking together the knowledge base and the holdings together with your records within FOLIO. So there's no additional double data entry. So we're saving time, we're saving staff resources. We also want to integrate the acquisitions functions so you can track your cost per use of these important resources, as well as track your license and agreements. So I think the deep integration of the electronic resources is one of the things that we are trying to solve with FOLIO, in addition to many other things, but I'll just stop there.
Thank you. Now, I think there is a question mainly for Wajdi. It's about I would like to, from Ahmed Amin, I would like to ask, is FOLIO support Arabic language? And related to that again, Mr. Ahmed, say that, okay, is Naseej providing FOLIO installation? So Wajdi, can you just
Yes,
step up
sure.
and
Okay, for the first question, the support for Arabic, definitely FOLIO in fact is multilingual. So regarding the interface, of course, we have different interfaces. In addition to that, we did support for the Arabic. When we say support, it's not only that it can store Arabic data and have Arabic interface. We also work on handling the Arabic language while doing the searches and indexing. So in indexing and searching, we do handle the Arabic language. So for example, we do normalization أو maybe لازم أحكي بالعربي هون إنه نحن نساوي مثلا بين الأشكال المختلفة للأحرف العربية الألف الهمزات التاء المربوطة والهاء التعريف أحرف الجر المتصلة الباء اللام الكاف في بداية الكلمة الفاء نعمل هاندلنج نحن للسوابق واللواحق لحتى السيستم يكون قادر لما بيتم البحث انه يسترجع البيانات اللي بحث عنها اليوزر بغض النظر اذا كانت مدخله مع سوابق ولاواحق والباحث بحث عنها من دون او بالعكس. فالسبورت للغه العربيه ليست هي فقط الستاندرد سبورت اللي بتيجي بالنظام انه كيونيكود وانه في دخل داتا بالعربي. ديفينتلي النظام بالكامل موجود باللغات المختلفه العربيك والانجليش والفرنش نحن بنقدمها باي ديفولت. واذا حدا بده يضيف لغه وي كان اد واذا حدا بده يشيل الفرنسي مثلا كمان we can only keep the Arabic and English. This is كلها configurable customizable. فالنظام يدعم اللغة العربية بالكامل من ناحية تخزين البيانات بالعربي من ناحية الانترفيس وأيضا والأهم من ناحية عمليات التكشيف والاسترجاع يلي تدعم اللغة العربية لناحية البحث. Sorry دكتور بالنسبة للسؤال الثاني because كانوا سؤالين I missed the second one.
It's about providing FOLIO installation from Naseej.
Yes. FOLIO is a cloud services platform. نحن اللي عم نقدمه هلا كنسيج نحن نقدم الخدمة عبر الكلاود. The cloud نحن الكلاود اللي عم نحكي عنها is national based cloud. So السيرفيس هي hosted على الكلاود عندنا على بالسعودية وإن شاء الله قريبا بالإمارات وقد يكون في على دول أخرى. فنحن نقدم السيرفيس على كلاود ولا نقدمها كلوكال انستوليشن. انا بحب اوضح بس شغله كثير مهمه بالنسبه للكلاود. The cloud services now is the best choice for your library. I recommend and I always say to libraries never go into local installation even if you can do it because there are many disadvantages for that and there are many advantages of being on the cloud. The first thing on being on the cloud that you will be always getting the latest updates and upgrades of the system seamlessly without even the knowledge of the staff users. You just inform the library that there is an upgrade and you always get the support, the maintenance, the upgrades in no time and without any interruption for your library. The second thing, you don't need to worry about the technical team that should support the system, do the installation and so on. Everything it is will be done by Naseej. And the last thing, you don't need to invest in hardware. Everybody now, there is no need for investment on hardware. We always do now the cloud as the services. And after all, as I said, we are not talking only about the library management system for the physical holding, which is the ILS, MEDAD ILS, that is completely powered by FOLIO, but we are talking about the full services platform that includes the end user interface, the library portal, and also we can add, as I said, some additional features like the chatbot or the virtual library assistant. So this enables you to have a full set of services, comprehensive set of services on the cloud without need to worry about how to install it, how to maintain it, and so on. And of course, I forget also the digital repository, which is very important now, that is fully integrated with the services platform. So you can manage your physical content, your electronic resources. These are maintained also by the ILS, which is based on FOLIO and powered by FOLIO. And you can also have on the same platform the digital repository to manage and maintain your digital assets. And of course, also the end user interface, that is the gateway or the library portal that enables the user to get access to all the library services, irrespective of the content, whether it is physical, electronic, or digital.
Thank you, Wajdi, because I think, please, if you need Neil to add something.
No, I'm fine with that. Thank you.
Okay, I was just mentioning that, Wajdi, that you already, within your answer, you already answered for other question from Umaisa, I guess. She's talking about that if it is open source folio, so what is the MEDAD added? So you mentioned a list of added value that, especially that related to cloud and this stuff. But I think there is other question related to that about the same respectful attendee, Maisa. Does MEDAD support multi-language support and every stuff in interface aspects, including library policies, especially when it's have this partnership with FOLIO? Wajdi, yes?
Yeah. I answered already regarding the multi-languages. So it is, the system is completely multilingual. We have, of course, as I said, we have by default the Arabic, English, French, and we can add additional languages if required. This is not only on the ILS, but on all the components of the system, including the library portal, for example, the end user interface, which is the library portal. So everything is fully multilingual. The library policies, of course, this is part of the circulation and the settings of the system. So you can define different policies the way you want it. And by the way, FOLIO and MEDAD ILS is very flexible regarding the settings of the system and defining the policy. And I'm sure and I can assure you that it provides much better than any other system. One of the things, as an example, one of the latest requirements was by the libraries, for example, to anonymize the circulation, for example. And this was a part of the privacy requirements, and now it is being obliged, in fact, by many governments. So you cannot, for example, keep the circulation history forever. And of course, the libraries, they don't like to lose that this item has been checked out or whatever. FOLIO, as an example, and MEDAD ILS deliver a service that you can anonymize this. So setting the policies of the library, FOLIO and MEDAD ILS are very powerful and gives you a lot of benefits even over the existing systems and whatever you used to have. This was just an example that I gave, like anonymizing the circulation transactions. Of course, there are many, many others.
Thank you, Wajdi. And again, Rumaisa, she said that the part of this one, as you can see, FOLIO is a singular language when it comes to the library policies, user and groups and branches and so on, those metadata. I think you answered, Wajdi, about this one. There is a question related to the integration between FOLIO and MEDAD and the other systems, especially in the academic libraries like the campus, the learning management system, other one.
Yes.
Can you just give more enlightenment on this, please, Wajdi and Neil as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so FOLIO is open source, and I know there was one question that asked about that. So the FOLIO open source software is designed to manage the staff functions of the library, and so that is all available on GitHub and accessible. In addition, it is all built on open APIs. So what open APIs will allow the library to do, or Naseej as a service organization, is to integrate with other services. Sometimes those services are open source, and sometimes they are from a commercial supplier, such as a self-check system, or a sorting system, or a discovery platform. So it is really the best of both worlds, where FOLIO is open source but it uses APIs to connect to the services that you need to run your specific library.
Perfect, thank you. I think this is for Wajdi as well. We need more about the integration with AUC or the Arab Union catalog, Wajdi, please.
Okay. We know that many, in fact, most of the libraries now in the Arab world are using the AUC to do copy cataloging mainly for the Arabic bibliographic data, and they maintain their content also on the AUC. So the integration now between MEDAD, LSP, and AUC, in fact, focus on simplifying this process. With the old classical system, the users of the libraries used to download the records and then import them, and this was some requirement due to some requirement by the AUC, because AUC is not a cataloging source like WordCat or whatever, but it is also a union catalog that the library needs to download to generate the record on AUC, so that AUC knows that this library is holding this record. So it is a real union catalog and not a cataloging source, as I said. So what we did in MEDAD, the integration with the AUC, it is very deep integration where the library can directly from the ILS interface, it connects as I have showed in the screen. So you can directly search the AUC. And if you capture a record from AUC, it also submit to AUC that this record has been captured by this library, so it updates its content. It's a bi-directional integration, I can say. So the AUC updates the library holding on the AUC union catalog, and the library gets the catalog or the BARC record, to its local system. So it is a full integration between AUC and the library catalog. This is on the bibliographic level and the holdings of the library. Also, there is another integration which is on the authority or the authority headings in the AUC. So the library can directly verify its headings on the bib records directly from the AUC subject headings and the AUC names. And the same applies to the English records with the Library of Congress. And the system is capable directly, it detects if it is an Arabic heading, it goes and fetches the headings from the AUC, and if it is an English heading, it goes and fetches it from the Library of Congress, so the library can automatically verify the headings with AUC for Arabic and with LC for English. And with LC, as I said, we are participating as a part of the linked data project of LC, the id.loc.gov. So the ID for the authority record is also saved in the field, the subfield 0 of the authority entry, and then your library can become part of the linked data project that is maintained by the Library of Congress.
Thank you, Wajdi. I think there is asking for help more than question that there is a gentleman asking about that the cloud and FOLIO and that and so on. This is the future. But please have to convince the IT here in some university organization about this one. So I think some advice in this part, because maybe he's a librarian and need to convince the IT about the value of this. He needs a prescription, IT prescription, I think.
Neil, do you like to respond on that?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, this is a very common question. As Wajdi mentioned, the cloud is the future of where technology is going. But many times in a local institution, the IT may not be ready yet for the cloud. But FOLIO is built and optimized for cloud deployment, and it might be a good place to begin for a university or a library to begin their experience with cloud technologies. So we are very confident in this and provide very strong support for the cloud, not only in the way that the software works, but in making sure that your information and your data are kept secure. So it is a conversation, and I understand it's but it is where the future is going, definitely. Wajdi, do you have anything to add locally?
I like to elaborate a little more. In fact, in our region, if we look back, maybe 2 years back, we can see before 2 years, we had a lot of objection from IT people moving to the cloud. It's not anymore the case. Now, most of the IT in most of the institutions are preferring the cloud. It's not something that they were convinced, it is the technology, in fact. The cloud has proved to be, first of all, much more secure. This is, many people, they think that cloud is not secure. It is much more secure any other local installation. On the cloud, there is a lot of, I can say, standards that are applied related to security that you cannot implement on local installations. We know that many sites can be easily hacked and get corrupted, and the data is lost. And this happened with many institutions before on local installation. This is on the cloud, this is not possible. There is very high security. And this is, some people, they think that local system, even if you close everything, every port in your local installation, as long as you have internet now connected, you are, you have what we call a security hole on your local installation. On the cloud, it's much more secure than that. This is one point. The second, as I said, 2 years back, most of the IT people were refusing moving to the cloud. Now we can see that most of the IT people and most of the institutions in our region, they are preferring and they would like to move to the cloud because they have discovered that the cloud has many benefits for them also, and it's much easier to maintain. It removes the headache for them regarding security issues and you know, many other like backups and all this. So on the cloud, all this is much easier for the IT people. So I don't think you will have a problem convincing the IT to move to the cloud. One last thing I would like to add here. There are some regulations in some countries regarding the cloud, but for us as Naseej and MEDAD, we are not talking about the international cloud. We are talking about a national cloud. So our services are hosted now, for example, in the cloud in Saudi Arabia. It is a national cloud inside Saudi Arabia, and this we apply to the regulations of the government. The same, we will have this also in Emirates and maybe in other countries. So if there is any objections regarding the international cloud, we don't have this problem, as I said, because we are hosting now the services on the national clouds within our countries. Okay, Doctor.
Thank you. I have a question here at the moment. It's about, it's for directly for Engineer Wajdi. How can we look at MEDAD as the API or system?
MEDAD, it is not an API, it is not a system. It is a set of services. It is a platform of services built on APIs. So all these services, we have APIs to support these services, and the APIs can be used for integration or maybe later to provide different channels, maybe like for the portal as an example, to have like a mobile app or whatever. So it is a platform of services. We have a huge set of services. Some of these services, they are related to the staff and the management work of the staff, which are based or powered by FOLIO. And some of these services are targeted for the end users that are part of the library portal, and also for the admin of the library to develop their full portal and web content, to manage their web content. So it is not a system, it is not an API, it is a platform of services that support API for each and every service on that platform. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Other question about that, do we have a demo available for that solution?
Definitely. Definitely we have demo, and we are always doing demos for users. And whoever is interested, please, Dr. Abdullah or Saeed, let's take some names, and we can, for sure, we can arrange for demos, and whoever is who wants, we can deliver a full demo for the full services or the services the library is interested in. So as I said, we have the services for physical and electronic part of the management system, and we have also the digital repository, and on top of that we have the library portal that is the end user interface for all the back-end systems. Okay.
Okay, so we have here the question about what are the technical issues like programming language and database engine and so on.
Hey, Nell, do you like
I'm sorry, so this is
to
about
respond on that, or shall I go also?
well, this is about a technical issues of programming language.
Programming languages.
Okay, well, one of the reasons that we selected a microservices architecture is the applications can be developed using the programming language and services that you would like. So whatever programming language works for your local development will work with FOLIO. It just has to obey the rules of the API. So that allows maximum flexibility for software development. It can be developed in any language that you like. We have preferred standards that we use with our development teams that you will see, but other development organizations can use the environment that they are most familiar with.
Thank
The
you.
same, Dr. Abdullah, the same applies to also to MEDAD LSP on the different layers, I can say. So the programming language is not, there is no restriction, we can say. So they can develop any app using any programming language. If they would like to add, I mean, some app to the platform, so they can develop the app and using any programming language, adopt the standard that is being used for the APIs and microservices, and this app can be added to the platform as one of the services part of the platform. Regarding the database, we are adopting in all the platform for FOLIO is based on the Postgres that is also open source, and we are also adopting all open source databases in the system. So they don't need, nobody need to worry about licensing. We know that databases licensing is something usually libraries, because there is very high cost on that. So everything is based on the open source, including the database using the Postgres, as I said, and the Postgres, in fact, it is, some say it is one of the most powerful database. I say it is the most powerful database system available worldwide. It's a very, very reliable, very powerful, and very, very scalable. And it does support the new standards, for example, the JSON objects that we use in FOLIO, and very powerful in this area.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Neil. I try to catch up. There is many questions, whether in the chat or question and answer, but I try to cover on this one. Nagla, we are just asking, after blockchain as well, it will be more beneficial? You think so? For both if you need to. Blockchain. Yes, Neil.
Yes, well, our focus, the community focus right now is more on the features and functionality that our libraries are asking for. So that's where we put most of our efforts. However, the fact that this is a modern architecture built for multi-tenant cloud platforms, that the future is certainly open to adopting technologies like blockchain within FOLIO.
Thank you. I think we are running out of time, but we can get one more question. It's about, for sure, the demos. Engineer Wajdi said that how to get it, but something about Symfony and FOLIO and the migration about this one. So Wajdi, as you see the.
Yes.
Can you just
Yeah.
give some
In fact, I mentioned that during the presentation that one of the tasks that Naseej can do quick and fast and at the same time in a very professional way is the data migration and migration from the old classical systems or any legacy system, whether Symfony or any other system, to the MEDAD platform. So the library should not worry about the migration. When we take any project, the migration is part of that. We do all the data migration, all the configuration reconfiguring the same policies that they used to have on the old system, or maybe update that. Also, we work with the library. In addition to that, I would like also to mention that during any migration practice or any migration task we used to do for any projects, we noticed that there are a lot, sometimes, not every time, but with most libraries, there is a lot of problems with the data itself. So what we also do as a professional service, during the migration part, we do enhance the data. We do a lot of corrections on the data if the data has problems, and then we do the migration completely, quickly, and professionally, so without losing any single record. Okay, so this is something that Naseej is known for more than 25 years. We have done, I can say, we have done migrations from some, what was it, COBOL systems sometimes ago. So we have done, I can say, from I can't, and maybe the number is not countable, from the different systems, from legacy systems, from in-house developed systems, different programming languages, different databases. We have done all kinds of migrations, and this is part of our services that we do the full. We don't just set up the system, we do the system, the migration, and we support the library until they are up and running on the MEDAD platform using FOLIO for the internal management of the staff.
I can see that there is a question, but we have to stick to the time frame, and we for sure just inviting all the people just to send their question over the email, and for sure all our speakers would be happy to answer it and also just give the information needed on this. I would like to thank you again, Neil, and also Wajdi, for this knowledgeable presentation. And I will leave wrapping this one for both of you to give a word for our respectful attendees. Please, Neil.
Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about FOLIO, the partnership between EBSCO and Naseej, and how FOLIO can help the MEDAD platform in your library. We think this is a modern solution with great potential, and especially in the MENA region and in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So thank you so much for taking the time to learn about this project.
Thank you. Wajdi, please.
Again, thank you all for your time and for attending this session. And I hope that we were able to present or to brief you about the FOLIO system and about the MEDAD, the library services platform. And as I said, you are all welcome to contact us for a demo so you can have more information. And as Nell mentioned, these systems, we are talking about new technologies, we are talking about the future of the technology and the library systems. And this is not some classical system that something that you have used before. So this is the future for your library. We hope to meet you also in the future because this is in fact that ensure that your library will be able to support and to provide services for your patron on the long run. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for our guests, and thank you for attendees. And we hope that everyone will have a nice night if he's in the other side, and or a good day like Neil here. They are just starting their meeting. Thank you, and في أمان الله. السلام عليكم.
شكرا يعطيك.
Thank you.